Go Green, a Family Matters Earth Day special, is made possible by the following partner.
At Providence Health and Services, we're as committed to the health of our planet as we are to the health of our patients. That's why we're doing our part to support sustainability. Providence knows a healthier world makes for healthier people.
It would help cut down on health costs, it would cut down on emissions, and it would just make for a happier world.
A lot of people have these systems and they really don't know anything about them.
It's just an easy lifestyle and it's very satisfying. They're amazing little creatures.
But to just reuse what's already been there.
Really engage with nature.
We're trying to spread the water.
It's a lifestyle that we would like to pursue.
There's no negative to it.
It's not just in a book, it's hands-on.
Think about what your actions are.
And it's not difficult to do.
Go Green, a Family Matters Earth Day special.
Hello, I'm meteorologist Dave Selesky, and welcome to Go Green. We all know that everything we do every day has an impact on the Earth, and in the next half hour, we're going to show you steps you can take to help ease the burden on our environment. There are simple introductions to Earth-friendly practices. See how kids are finding more ways to dig into environmental awareness.
Worms are so good for my garden, and I like to make my own soil at home. Have you ever made your own soil at home? Today's a great program called Wiggly Worms, and it focuses on insects and animals in the earth, but mainly worms. We do a real study. We get to look at worms. We're going to get to make a worm bin. And you can do this at home. You can get a plastic container. You see the plastic container? And we really wanted to emphasize and encourage those kids preschool and going into kindergarten, first grade, to just give a little stronger science emphasis. We could put some leaves in. What we realize at that age, how much the kids really understand and how much they can carry what they learn through their lifetime. They're very active. Where do you think they're going?
They want to go back in the dirt.
To me, what's great about it is if they can see, if they can touch, if they can observe, if they can put together it's not just in a book, it's hands-on. Here we go. Not only do we do some classroom programs, but we also get out in the park and get a chance to see what's crawling or moving or flying about in the park. Try another mound, see if you can dig and pull a little bit off. And so it's great to connect them that it isn't just indoors on paper, it's outside connecting. If you can observe animal behaviors, you learn a lot about yourself, and educating in the field is such a fabulous way to teach science. Okay, come on guys, Hudson, Jack, come on down this way. Let's move a little bit. We're gonna get some exercise.
To find out more about early environmental education classes, just head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. There, you'll find a complete resource center with information, video, and links to help you go green. We all know the Pacific Northwest is a very bike-friendly area, but there's a growing group of people turning their love for two wheels into a business plan.
The bicycle is an incredibly efficient way of moving goods and making sales and traveling throughout the urban core.
You're starting to see a lot more businesses use it as their preferred mode of transportation. And it became evident right away that through sharing information and resources, we could network to work together on providing each other with things like insurance or advertising, budget, representation.
So the Bicycle Business League was formed to network, advocate, share resources, and market bicycle businesses.
And so formalizing it so that others would have access to that pool of information was a big incentive to start the business association.
This includes any business that has bicycles in their business model, and this can be anywhere from the traditional retailers to the more innovative bicycle businesses that we're seeing around Portland.
I think I am pretty unique right now. People have been interested in me because of me being on a bike and also me cleaning with green products. Typical day, I take a certain area of town and I go from house to house and give myself a little extra time. Weather is definitely a challenge, and time is a challenge. Trying to fit in as many houses as I can in a day.
So if we can increase the exposure of bicycle businesses to the average consumer, the average customer, then we have done our job as a Chamber of Commerce, as a business association.
Definitely proud of riding my bike for a living. Very little overhead when you do use a bicycle. So really, it's a business that can't really fail. It's a healthy alternative and it's the greenest thing you can do.
So to find out more about the Bicycle Business League, just head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com.
Turn up the heat to about 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit, and when it is entirely melted,
KATU is on your side, and we're proud to be certified by the City of Portland as a Recycle at Work business. From resource reduction methods to recycling initiatives, we're working every day to reduce our own carbon footprint. And watch KATU News for exclusive Green Living segments, stories and information designed to help you live a more earth-friendly life. It's a commitment to the environment that KATU shares with you, and together we can make a difference. KATU is on your side.
They're old, they're dusty, and they're probably stacking up in your garage. But there's a place taking in old paint, and it's giving it a whole new life.
Well, a customer will arrive at our facility, and the haz waste technicians will go unload that paint, and they'll separate the oil-based paint from the water-based paint. Once it's been sorted, it will get brought over here in these baskets that you see here, and this is strictly water-based paint. So once it comes here, the forklift operator, which we just saw over here, will pick up a basket, load it up into the processing room. So over here we see paint getting loaded off of the pallet onto the table, and each step of the way we're doing a cursory check to make sure it's not oil-based paint. It gets opened with a pneumatic can opener here. The operator will check and see that that is good latex paint, just a cursory glance. If he believes it's still good paint, he will send it across the table in the approximate direction of the proper color. Each one of these sinks represents the color of the finished product, the batch of paint. It's all color separation. So as we saw up in the processing room, every sink is attached to a hose that comes down to here, and each one of these is a tank that's attached to those sinks up above. And each one represents what's going to be a batch of our paint. And when this fills up to here, this cord has an alarm on it that will alarm, letting them know it's full. They'll pull it out and they'll bring it over here and put it empty one back in here, and the process starts over again. So here we see one of the tanks being mixed, and in about 45 minutes they'll pull out the mixer and they'll take a color sample. And then from that sample they start the process of matching colors. And here you can see one of the charts. And so this sheet here is painted with our standard dark brown. And each one of these was an attempt to match a batch to that dark brown. And it's all done with the eye, and it's one little sample at a time, painted on here and dried, until you get to the point where you can't tell the difference. You can see from the starting point to the ending point, it's very close to our standard. So once the paint has passed all the certification tests and the color matching process, and we decided it's ready to go, we will pump it through a filtration system, which you can see over there in that large gray vessel is one of the filtration vessels, through the filters into the cans here. So 1 gallon cans and 5 gallon pails over there. So that's one of our barn red batches, and it's much less expensive than store-bought paint. But there's also the reason that it will reduce your carbon footprint. By recycling the products, you're not having to mine new chemicals such as titanium dioxide. You're able to just reuse what's already been there.
You want to learn more? Go to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. Solar panels are popping up more and more, but did you ever wonder how they make them? Well, we visited a place that's turning rocks into the power of the sun.
it is using light energy from the sun and an inherent electronic imbalance to create a flow of electrons, which is electricity. So we start out with polysilicon, which is twice refined silicon, quartz and sand. Turn up the heat to about 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit, and when it is entirely melted, we dip a seed crystal that has just the right atomic structure into the very top of the melt. The melt begins to freeze onto the seed crystal, and we begin to pull the seed crystal up so that we are growing and pulling a crystal all at once until we have about a 5.5 foot by 8 inch long crystal. We cut off the top and the tail, cut off the sides till that we have nearly a square, and then we cut that ingot into many, many individual wafers. We treat and heat the wafers so that when photons strike the surface, they produce electricity. And we also paint on circuitry so that we can capture the electrons as they rise to the top surface. Those are ready to be installed on a rooftop and built into an array so that those can either power a home or or send electricity into the grid. Each panel each year has more energy output than the previous year. It's a very steady push to greater efficiency.
To get more information on solar power, go to the Family Matters section at KATU.com.
About a third of the different things that we eat in our diet are actually insect pollinated.
At Providence Health and Services, we are as committed to the health of our planet as we are to the health of our patients. That's why we're doing our part to support sustainability.
In the past, people in Providence Hospital cafeterias would empty food trays into the garbage. Now with an eco-friendly program, food waste and paper becomes compost instead of garbage. Compost you can buy at local stores for your garden.
Isn't that amazing? Soil for the plants, and then we'll watch them grow.
Providence Portland Medical Center has earned a silver designation as a bicycle-friendly business by the League of American Bicyclists. It's the only hospital in Oregon to receive this award.
Well, as an employee of Providence, I feel very fortunate for many reasons. One of them is the TriMet Pass that we are provided, which allows not only to save money, but also to help environment.
Providence is also proud that Providence Newburgh Medical Center is the nation's first hospital to receive the Gold LEED certification.
100% of our energy comes from sustainable processes, hydroelectric, geothermal, and wind. And we're the first one in the country to have that.
In ongoing efforts to increase sustainability, Providence Health and Services is safely recycling items that normally would be discarded after one use: scissors, scrubs, even the plastic containers for safely disposing of sharps. By recycling the sharps containers alone, Providence will help keep 25 tons of plastic out of landfills. All items are re-sterilized for reuse under FDA guidelines.
This is a win-win situation because not only is Providence saving money, but we are keeping another piece of plastic out of the landfill.
Providence billboard signs are another target for recycling. To reduce waste, Providence has turned their obsolete billboard vinyls into one-of-a-kind, multi-use bags, selling them at the Providence Portland Medical Center gift shop to support Providence's charitable foundations. Locally grown zucchini, potatoes, mushrooms. A 4-star restaurant? No, a 4-star hospital. Providence Health and Services buys as much sustainably grown fruits and vegetables as possible.
Local and sustainable, it goes with recycling. It's what we can do. Not only are we getting the best products available for our patients, but we're also using less resources.
Hey, gotta goats! Come here, guys!
And look who's on staff at Providence St. Vincent Medical Center, a small herd of goats on loan from Catlin Gable School. The Goat Patrol helps out hospital groundskeepers by munching on pesky ivy and holly. The invasive plants would kill trees and ground cover plants if left unchecked. One goat can clear about 2,000 square feet of vegetation in 1 month.
They are lifesavers. Very friendly ones.
Sustainability is the right course for Providence and for the communities in which we live and work. At Providence Health and Services, we are committed to making a greener, healthier world.
It's one of our greatest natural resources, and we can waste it by the gallon. But we found simple steps you can take to keep from wasting water inside and out.
Water conservation is important for peak system demand, and when people use a lot of water in the summertime, it pushes our system to its peak demand. We need to get people to reduce that demand to make sure that we can get water to everybody. On the indoors, very easy things that you can do would be look at the places that you use water. So the kitchen, the bathroom, and the laundry are going to be the 3 areas of the home that you use your water. So this is a kitchen faucet aerator. Currently, a kitchen faucet is going to run anywhere from about 2.5 to 2.2 gallons per minute. This runs at 1.5 gallons per minute. Pretty simple to install. You just take the old aerator off, screw the new aerator on. And now that it's installed, you have a faucet aerator running at an efficient 1.5 gallons per minute. One other thing that we do recommend that you do, preferably every year, is check your toilets for water leaks. They can have silent leaks that leak through the flapper valve, and water is going from the tank into the bowl. From the bowl, it just goes right down the drain. So what we recommend is using these leak tablets. To test the toilet, you simply put your tablets in. That's going to color the tank water blue. If that water seeps into the bowl after about 2 or 3 minutes, you know you've got a leak somewhere in that valve and that you need to get that fixed. It's usually a few dollars to fix that flapper valve. Very inexpensive way to save hundreds, if not thousands of gallons of water a year in a silent leak. We recommend that people take a 5-minute shower, and this helps you know what a 5-minute shower is. It's got a suction cup that'll hook on the wall of the shower, and it's a simple sand timer, but kind of gives you an idea of what a 5-minute shower would look like. The outdoor water conservation is very important, where we might be using in our system around 12 or 13 million gallons per day in the winter. We can go up to between 40 and 50 million gallons per day in the summer.
So Jude, this is your water meter. Basically, I'm showing people how easy it is and some simple things that they can do to assess their own irrigation system. One of the toughest things that we have is the fact that a lot of people have these systems and they really don't know anything about them. Some simple things that they can do to kind of manage leaks and maladjusted heads. These things just twist off. It's very easy to do. And you look inside and you see if you see any kind of debris or anything in there that would be causing it to malfunction. A lot of times on a radius or a circle, we'll see where they have a sprinkler at the edge and it's shooting the sidewalk on both sides. This is water that you're paying for that you're not getting to use. I want to get all the water that I'm paying for on my property to the plants that I want to pay for. I don't want to be watering the sidewalk or the street.
There's little things that we all can do to make a big change in conserving water both indoors and outdoors, and it's not difficult to do.
So now we've adjusted this to where it's not hitting the sidewalk, but because it sits so far back into the shrub bed, we're watering open dirt. There's a couple of things that are common that we see a lot. One is that they overwater. They tend to give turf grass or lawn a lot more water than what it needs, and they don't tend to monitor how the soil is absorbing that water, so you get runoffs. You're really putting a lot of water out in this area for a lot of plants that are not necessarily needing it.
Okay.
So you would water this area when they needed it.
Why it's important is because more people are moving here, our population is growing, our climate is changing, and it's really important to really plan for and provide for these for future generations, water in particular.
To learn more about water conservation, head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. They're an amazing filter for the environment and easy to create. See how rain gardens are a great bet to reduce pollution.
This is a good example of a stormwater management system, otherwise known as a rain garden. A rain garden is intended to harness the rainwater coming off the roof or other impermeable surfaces, and intended to serve as a basin for that water to collect in and then slowly infiltrate into the soil. The main reason that it's being very strongly encouraged here in Portland is we have a problem with overflow on the Willamette River. So the city has been targeting places that have the opportunity to kind of pull some of that water out of the system, which in turn will help reduce overflow potential on the Willamette River itself. This is the intake where the downspout actually comes in and connects with the pipe that feeds the rain garden. So you can see here, this is our old stormwater pipe, and the city has nicely come and actually put a plug on there for me and asked me not to reconnect this. And so this is coming from more or less the front half of my roof. All the water comes down into here, hits this pipe and carries that way underground to where it starts to move out into the actual rain garden. We're not getting too much rain right now, but the water's slowly starting to move out into there. There's a plant palette that we kind of pull from for rain gardens, and that's predominantly native plants. And we kind of look at it as a natural wetland area. So we start at the bottom of the basin with this is a sluice sedge and a common rush. And those are the ones that like to kind of be in a more boggy type situation or can stand being in standing water. And then we kind of work our way up. Got a Pacific wax myrtle here and some evergreen huckleberry. It becomes a natural piece and actually enhances the habitat potential for birds and butterflies, dragonflies. And you get all that for something that's relatively low maintenance and drought tolerant once installed. So I like to look at it as actually a feature of the landscape.
We have such a small herd that we really enjoy their behavior, all of their antics.
You know, being retired, changes come easy. No more morning alarm clocks, no more commute, and the only thing you need to work at is staying healthy.
One change we're not going to make is our health insurance. What we've always liked about Providence is they're big on preventive care.
Providence Health Plans, providing health insurance and peace of mind.
We'll be staying with Providence.
Hi there, my name's Carl Graham and I'm with the Metro Natural Gardening Program, and I'm here to talk a little bit about how easy it is to set up an all-organic vegetable garden. So the first thing to do is look around and where is going to be most convenient for you? Where's your water supply? But also, where are you going to get the most sun? So the next step is to figure out what you want to put your soil and your garden in. You could use a half wine barrel like this, but if you do a half wine barrel, you want to make sure there's at least a few holes in the bottom, just to ensure proper drainage. Okay, so next you want to put some soil in there. Buy some potting mix if you don't want to dig up part of your yard. Compost also can be purchased at the nursery, or you can make it in your own backyard. Okay, then you want to mix in the compost with the soil. I like to use my hands. Get that nice and mixed in. So the next step is to figure out what you want to plant. We got a nice little combination of edible flowers and herbs and vegetables here. So first you pop them out of their little containers here. The spacing that you have between each plant is very important, and generally plants like to have a little bit of breathing room. So once you've arranged where all your plants are going to go, then you can pop them in the ground. And the important thing is making sure the soil is moist when you're planting. And when you plant, you want to firm the soil around each plant's root ball so there's no air spaces, which can dry the roots out later and cause problems. And never bury the plant any deeper than it was in its original pot. So you want to water your plants once you plant them, and then keep them watered during the growing season so that they're healthy and strong. And it's as easy as that. You water it in, take care of it nicely, and you can grow an organic garden that's healthy for people, pets, and the planet.
You know, they're popping up in neighborhoods just like yours, and they're bringing another feature of the farm to the backyard.
We actually started with two. They're herd animals and they need to have companion.
The breed is a French Alpine dairy goats.
The curiosity of a cat and the intelligence of a dog.
Each one has her own distinct personality. They like to be loved. And we take them as pets, but they are dairy animals, herd animals, and we have such a small herd that we really enjoy their behavior, all of their antics.
Daisy's our youngest, and she's very sociable and very personable. She'll follow you around like a little puppy dog, and if you sit down, she'll get on your lap. She loves to lay at our feet. Goats thrive on routine. They like to know what to expect and what's expected of them, and they will do very well. We have a milking order for our goats, and they'll come in the same order every time to get milked.
We normally milk early AM around 7 o'clock in the morning, and they produce a large quantity of milk. Wednesday, our #1 milker is producing approximately 2 gallons of milk a day. She's produced almost 5,000 pounds of milk for us. So she's a really extremely high producer.
At this time, we are using all of the milk. We do have some folks that drop by from time to time to see if we have extra milk, and we'll sell it to them. We use it for household milk. It makes wonderful cream in your coffee, makes great yogurt, great ice cream.
We make a lot of cheese. We give it to our neighbors. We have probably, 50 wheels of cheese that we have put away right now that are in whatever form of aging between 3 months to 2 years of age.
With the byproduct that we get, which is their manure, our neighbors love to use it for their organic garden, and we've also posted a lot for people to come and pick up for gardens around the city. I think it's a personal benefit, and it's very relaxed, comfortable. It's just an easy lifestyle, and it's very satisfying.
To find more about raising goats, go to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. Their role in the ecosystem is essential. Let's see how everyday people are helping out the honeybee.
This is bee distribution day. We have packages of honeybees. These are roughly 3 pounds of bees, and this is how they are shipped to a producer so that they can start a new colony of honeybees.
There's a growing number of hobbyists starting bees. There's been quite a resurgence of interest in the last couple of years, which is great because more hobbyists means more bees.
What I'm going to do is shake them down and show you your queen.
It's really fun. And you can't get better honey than right out of your own backyard. Their system and their organization, after we work with the bees, we always sit in front of the hive for at least half an hour just to watch. They're amazing little creatures.
About a third of the different things that we eat in our diet are actually insect pollinated.
There's no negative to it. Even if you were to lose your first colony, I mean, I've lost 2 colonies, but it's a positive experience because you learn.
You need only enough space to locate them for a single or 2 colonies. You're not talking, they don't need acres and acres of space.
We have a lot of customers come here that are concerned about the environment and they want to try and do something, and many of them notice that there aren't many bees around, and so they want to get into bees. A lot of people get into beekeeping to get a connection with their environment, and it's a very good way to do that.
We've only scratched the surface on ways we can ease the burden on the planet. Now, for more information, head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. There, you'll find a complete resource center with links, video clips, and information to help you go green. For K2 and Family Matters, I'm Dave Selesky. Good night.
A century of service and innovation. Fisher Communications.